Hey everybody, it's me, Kathy Forbes, and I'm going to read chapter 43. I always say I'm the author of I am the author of a book called Love's Journal, which can be bought on Facebook. Not on Facebook. It, the link to the buying on Amazon is on Facebook, but it's on Amazon. I write poetry on poetryvibe.com. I'm LD Virtue, First Lady of Virtue. I am an employee. Um, First and foremost, I'm a woman of God. Then I'm a wife. And then I'm a mother to 6 children, 19 grandchildren. And I'm honored to make your acquaintance. This is the first time you're dealing with me. I'm here to talk, have discussions, learn with you. I'm trying to get through the Bible. I don't know how long it will take me to get through the Bible. I'm trying a different way right now because I want you to understand it and understand that you're not alone and you've never been alone and nothing new is under the sun and things are going on and we don't understand it, but God still got us. So I'm always saying it and I'll say it again. We got to start somewhere. And if you're starting today in Genesis chapter 43, that is somewhere. So this is 43, and we talked about Joseph and all the bad things happened to him that got him to all the good things. And we're going to hurdle. We're going to run. We're going to hurdle some things. That's what Joseph did. The backstory's there. And it's a long one. I'm not going to do it this time. I've done it in a few of the others, and maybe when I get to another chapter. But we all are Josephs, and we're all being prepared, and we're all Jesus, and we're all walking, and we're ministering. So here, this is 43. Now, the famine was severe in the land, and it came to pass, when they had eaten up the grain which they had bought from Egypt, that their father said to them, Go back, buy us a little food. Now they're starving again. But Judah spoke to him, saying, The man solemnly warned us, saying, You should not see my face unless your brother's with you. He's like, I can't go, Dad. You won't let Benjamin go. If you send our brothers with us, we will go down and buy food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said to us, You shall not see my face unless your brother's with you. And Israel said, Why did you deal so wrongfully with me, as to tell the man whether you have still another brother? But they said, The man asked us pointedly about ourselves and our families, saying, Is your father still alive? Have you another brother? And we told him according to these words. Could we possibly have known that he would say, Bring your brother down? Did we know what he was going to say, Dad? Seriously? We answered the questions honestly. We didn't know that he was going to give us some orders, but he said, Don't come back without your brother. He was specific and he wasn't nice. So, Dad, that's what he said, but you want us to go back. But that man said, Don't come back here without your brother. But they said, The man asked us pointedly about ourselves. Then Judah said to Israel, his father, Send the lad with me, and we will rise and go, that we may live and not die both. We and you and also our little ones. I myself will be surety for him. From my hand ye shall require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. So now Reuben and Judah have both said, Dad, you gotta trust us. You gotta trust us. We'll bring him back. I mean, they already know his heart was broke with Joseph. After we had not lingered, surely by now we would have returned this second time. And the father Israel said to them, If it must be so, then do this. Take some of the best fruit of the land in your vessel, and carry down a present for the man, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, pistachio nuts and almonds. Take double money in your hands, and take back in your hands the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take your brother also, and arise and go back to the man, and may God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release your other brother and Benjamin. If I'm bereaved, I am bereaved, he said. Please go get my other son. Don't leave that one and bring that one back and take him gifts. Do whatever you have to make it happen. Bring us food. Bring us food. So the man took the present and Benjamin, and they took double money in their hands and arose and went down to Egypt. And they stood before Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with him, he said to the steward of the house, Take these men to my home, and slaughter an animal, and make ready for these men who will dine with me at noon. Then the men, as Joseph ordered, and the men brought the men into Joseph's house. Now the men were afraid because they were brought in Joseph's house, and they said, it is because of the money which was returned in our sacks. So they're feeling guilty the first time, and we're brought in so that he may make a case against us and seize us to make us slaves with our donkeys. When they drew near to the steward of Joseph's house, they talked with him at the door of the house and said, "Oh, sir, we indeed came down the first time to buy food, but it happened when we came to the encampment that when we opened our sacks and there each man's money was in the mouth of the sack." So they're admitting it. They're like, "Man, we don't know what happened. We didn't do it on purpose. The money was there." They're pleading. They're trying to state their case because they're thinking the worst. Why would he take us to his house? He don't know us. They're thinking the worst. And in each man's money sack was the money of his sack, our money in full weight. So we brought in back in our land, in our hand. We had brought down other money in our hand to buy food. We do not know who put the money back in our sacks. So they took double the money. You're like, dude, we'll give you twice the money. We know we took the grain. But we'll give you that money and we're going to buy this stuff. We brought your money back. So they're pleading. But he said, "Peace be with you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money." Then he brought Simon out to them. So the man brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their donkeys feed. Then they made their presents ready for Joseph coming at noon, for they have heard that they would eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the presents which was in their hands into the house, and bowed down before him to the earth. Then they asked them about their well-being, and he said, "Is your father well? The old man of whom you spoke, is he still alive?" And they answered, "Your servant, our father, is in good health. He is still alive." And they bowed their heads down and prostrated themselves. And he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, "Is this your younger brother, of whom you spake to me, brother of whom you spoke to me?" And he said, "God be precious to you, my son." Now his heart yearned for his brother. So Joseph made haste and sought somewhere else to weep. And he went into his chambers and wept there. Then he washed his hands and came out and restrained himself and said, "Servant, serve the bread." So they placed by himself and them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat food with the Hebrews, for this is an abomination to the Egyptians. And they set before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked in astonishment at one another. Then he took servants to them from before him. But Benjamin's serving was 5 times as much as any other, so they drank and were merry with him. So they ate good. They couldn't eat all together. Everybody was kind of separated. But he fed them. And he gave his youngest brother the most. And he wanted to hug him, and he wanted to let him know, "I'm okay." He seen his brother, and he wept when he seen his brother. And he longed for that brotherhood that I'm sure he missed being alone. It's something about, when you're close to somebody and that's your brother, you share the same parents. And he wanted to see that his brother was healthy and they'd done nothing to him. And he wept when he seen his brother. And he went somewhere alone so that they couldn't see that his heart had been torn. And that was 43. God bless you.